Hey everybody, we are here at day 3 of PRI 2022. We are in the Borowski Race Engines booth. We are here with Joe McCall and Mike Pritchett, of Dusold Designs. We have an amazing 1963,
67.
67. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. 1967 Camaro. It's got a lot of exciting features. It is, in fact, a performance vehicle. It is not a daily driver. But I'm going to let Joe and Will talk about it because everyone wants to hear the actual ins and outs, not me speaking. So, Joe, I'm going to hand you this microphone. All right, guys, take it away.
Yeah,
Tell
so,
me about
well, the first thing is, well, I did the clip,
It's
so
a
that's okay. We'll just hold it. But,
so to
yeah,
begin with, this is a 1967 Camaro that's built mostly for time attack and hill climb racing. Um, this car has evolved a lot over the years, and the form it's in right now is probably its most extreme. You can see the large front splitter here, and
I
all
guess
the
at Road America, which they won this year, the Optima
yeah
Challenge, uh,
grid life actually
it was
did.
200-mile-an-hour run, and they were able to see exactly with the sensors how much downforce.
Yeah.
And
So we
how
have
much? What's the number?
it's like over 6,000 pounds of downforce at 200 mile an hour, and we got that from, as you can see, the shock pods here. We can measure the amount of squish the suspension does, like at speed. So
Yeah,
that helps us measure downforce and low
right.
pass and whatnot.
Yeah, and you can also see just the physical size of the shocks and the springs, and the fact that they're cantilevered to be able to handle the forces better. And it runs off this rocker arm. If you could
Yeah.
explain the benefits of the rocker arm.
So it's really more of a packaging thing, and also it helps us move the motion ratio closer to 1 to 1. And actually, this is a 1 to 1 setup. We can also alter that with certain uh, shims and whatnot, um, from 1 to 1 or a little less or whatnot.
Right. Then, uh, gentleman was asking before about the air setup,
Yeah.
and so if you could explain what's going on here.
So generally we have a hood, and that hood generally we have a hood, and that hood comes over, and it has ducting in it that helps extract air from the radiator. But these fans right here are also for brake cooling when we're on the mountain at Pikes Peak. We
Yeah.
need as much cooling as possible because the air is very thin up there. So
Uh,
you're going further up the elevation.
yes,
so
And you want to go fast.
right.
they can't hear you.
No, it's okay. It'll pick up the
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the thing is over. You can see the ducting coming out over here on the brakes. Yeah. At any road race car, brakes and keeping them cool is absolutely critical.
Yeah, these fender vents down here, they're a little untraditional as far as aero packages come. Um, they're they're two ducts on both sides, and they're fed from the front splitter to help extract and seal off the floor for to help drive all the aero components better.
Right. Yeah. Because the last thing you want is air gut underneath the car.
Yes.
Because I've actually seen personally Camaros, Gen One Camaros, go airborne on racetracks.
Nobody wants that.
No,
No,
and
not at
actually,
all.
it did a full pirouette in the air, and amazingly, and this was at Lights Out a few years ago, landed on its wheels and raced the next day. So, like, I'd be going home. My luck has run out.
Yeah, and because like the age of the car and the design, of course, in the 60s, uh, it is not shaped and benefit of good arrow.
It
So
wasn't
so
intended
we
for
have
that
we have
purpose.
to we have to approach things differently than like a newer car.
Yeah, this is referred to as a time attack car. If you could
Yeah.
explain time attack.
Time attack, you're pretty much just racing against the clock. You're trying to get the best times possible and also line up the perfect conditions, right? It could rain, or like the track is shut down because someone went off, or it's all about just trying to get the perfect time and trying to
Yeah.
get the best time too.
What was the inspiration behind this particular vehicle? Like, did you have like a vision of it? Did you guys acquire the car? Is it built for somebody? What's a
So
little bit of the history of the vehicle?
okay, so Mike originally built this car to autocross, and the autocross and road race, and he kind of got involved. He ran Ultimate Street Car for years. He won 2 years in a row, 18 and 19, and then they banned him because
He
he,
was winning too
yeah,
much.
in 2019 he won every event he attended at Optima, and so now then he was like, well, let's go to Mountain Pikes Peak. So it just grew from there. The wing, the front splitter, it all just got bigger, better, larger.
But the idea to be able to go from Pikes Peak to ground level road racing,
Yeah.
it's another engineering feat in itself. Let's move up and take a look at the engine. People are going to want to know what we have here. This is a 427 cubic inch LS. It's got a Dart aluminum block, Callie's Magnum crank diamond pistons. It's basically what uh, the builder of that car calls our peanut butter and jelly. He loves to put it in everything. He likes to get the boost up to about 2,000 horsepower. This one is limited to, I think Mike likes it at 1,300 at the wheels max.
Yeah, at when we're like full tilt, it's probably making 1,300 little wheels, but we generally run it around like 1,100, like just on like a medium setting.
But what he was explaining yesterday to me was really amazing. At Pikes Peak, when you get up to the top at 15,000 feet, the atmospheric pressure is only 8 psi absolute, as opposed to 14.7 at ground level.
Yeah.
But he has a setup with it called a rocket
Uh,
on the single turbo,
yeah, rock danny lag. Yep.
where it maintains the exact level of boost at idle, like 10 psi,
Yeah.
regardless of of elevation. If you could explain a little bit about that turbo setup.
Yeah. So we have a single 88 millimeter Garrett, um, and it's the rocket ending lag is pretty much like a combustion chamber that like has that you add fuel, it has a spark plug and everything, and it combusts the air and keeps the turbo spinning while we're off throttle or like at idle, I guess, um, and help us keep the boost pressures up.
Okay.
So when you get back on throttle, it's not lagging, right?
Yes.
That's anti-lag.
Yes.
So what? Before we switch to more engineering, what's next for this vehicle? Is it going back the hill? Is it going back to a road course? What is?
For next year, we're,
Yeah.
we're going back to like grid life and time
Okay.
attack stuff.
Okay.
We won't be attending the mountain next year, but we have another car that we built for a customer that we're going to be taking his car. It's a '65 Mustang.
Okay.
So we're going to be taking that car to Pikes Peak and supporting him instead.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This was great. I think folks, if they have any questions, we'll send them you guys' way to learn more about the engine and the engineering, and really fun. Have a good season next year.
Well, thank you,
All right,
Adriana.
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming over.